Opposition parties in Ogun State have disclosed plans to take to the streets in protest against the November 16th local government election if it falls below bar. That is being free and fair. Now, they urge the Ogun State Independent Electoral Commission to uphold its integrity and prevent civil unrest. The state's publicity secretary for the Labour Party, that's Tokunbo Peters, stated that the party's coalition agents would be present in all polling units to ensure that the results declared by tally and, of course, with the polling units. Now, joining me, of course, to speak on this is Lanre Toluhi, is a social and political commentator who joins virtually from the United Kingdom, and also Tokunbo Peters, the publicity secretary for the Labour Party in Ogun State. Gentlemen, thank you for your time and thank you for being on the program.
Thank you, Dapo, and thank you, everyone.
We would like to be on your station.
All right, great. Let me start with you, Tokunbo Peters. Now, you, of course, are part of the opposition party in Ogun State. You have threatened to go on the streets if this local government election doesn't, go as planned in terms of being free and fair. I would like you to speak more on that and the objective, for you to extend more on it. Why would you go on the streets?
Now, this is what we are saying. We are practicing democracy. And we expect that the election results should reflect the will of the people as demonstrated by their ballots. Now, in 2023, the Labour Party, as it were, was not well prepared because we didn't have polling unit agents across all the polling booths in Ogun State. But this time around, we have done our homework properly. We are well prepared. We have recruited volunteers, party faithfuls, people who are willing to offer selfless services because they are dissatisfied with what is going on in the states. Now, during the election, we intend to have the result sheets in all the polling booths. We have set up our own situation room where we are going to collate the result ourselves. Centers, a result that is contrary to what we have collated as demonstrated by the people is announced. Definitely, we won't accept. And our supporters will join us in protesting those results. That is just one of the things we intend to do. Aside from doing that, we are also going to go to court to protest the result. Because over the years, we have found ourselves in a situation whereby the ruling party keeps sweeping the polls in the local government election, irrespective of what or how the people vote at the poll. And there must be a stop. Enough is enough.
All right. Let me leave you for a moment, Mr. Peters. Let me go to Lanre Toluhi. Now, looking at the local government elections, particularly what has necessitated it now, talking about fiscal autonomy, from the Apex Court, saying that henceforth for them to be funded, that's get their allocation directly. Part of the conditions is that they conduct democratically, elections across local governments. We are beginning to see states do all of that. We've seen some states, carry that out, even though there are reactions. I would like to know your take as, a social observer in terms of, number one, compliance and, the eventual outcome. How would you rate the processes across states so far?
Thank you, Dapo. The process is a charade, basically. You see, the Nigerian government, without injunction or without judgment from the Supreme Court, to me, that's something to show the world. The more you see, the less you understand. Because it really doesn't matter whether the funds goes directly to the local government account. The sitting governors in each state in Nigeria seat dictates who become a local government chairman and who become a councillor. Like Mr. Tokunbo Peters have said, the sitting, the party in the ends of affair in each state end up sweeping all the local government election, of sweeping all the local council seats, because that is what happened. Because the governor or the ruling party will be the one to appoint who becomes in the state electoral board or the state electoral commission, and these are card-carrying member of this ruling party in each state. So at the end of the day, once you get the ticket, or once the governor or the party in the end of affairs in any state picks you as their candidate in local government election and councillorship, you're already 85% there. So, so with this, is there really autonomy? I don't think there's an autonomy. There is an autonomy in the paper, but there's no autonomy in terms of practicality or in terms of what is happening. What I expected to have been done was where the system will have been made a little bit more easy, will have made easier for people to access. And talking on what Mr. Tokunbo Peters was saying, talking about protesting, I think it is rather late for every political party in Nigeria in other different states to want to go to the street. They are just trying to endanger the life of people, and going to court. I keep telling people, the court can't keep telling us, can't keep imposing who becomes our political leaders, because it is wrong. It is not right. What we should have done was political party across board in every state in Nigeria and at the national level should have seen that even from the appointment or from the selection of members of these electoral commissions, that is where it should have started, not eve to elections that people now start talking and start complaining and whining. No, we are rather waiting too late to do that. It's from the point of selection of members of this electoral commission, even the INEC of Nigeria, because presently the INEC, which is the national body for election in Nigeria, we've seen part-time members of APC being made state electoral commission. Nobody is talking now. 3 days to election or a month to election, opposition should now be talking. We should be talking from the organization or from the selection or from the appointment of these people.
Are you suggesting, Lanre, that opposition parties are not doing enough, to raise some of these concerns you have highlighted?
The opposition party in Nigeria are gone. They are just there making noise, trying to look. What they are doing is charade. They are not doing nothing. They're not even doing anything.
So they are doing absolutely nothing, just making noise.
They are doing absolutely nothing. So it's when they do something, you say they are doing. I can say, but look, see, the truth is we need to tell ourselves the truth. Look, as people, we should first tell ourselves, I believe in system analysis based on my field. We should tell ourselves the truth. People were appointed into these electoral commissions. What did a PDP, let's use Ogun as a case study. When people were appointed into the OGSIEC, OGSIEC, or what they call it, OGSIEC, what did PDP do? What did Labour do? What did Accord Party do? What did ABGA do in terms of raising objection on the people that were being appointed or being nominated? They were first nominated that way, and they were confirmed by the state assembly. They didn't do anything. Now people are now coming out to say, look, on the eve of election, is the man from Labour going to tell me if we have a Labour governor?
Okay, Lanre, sorry, I'm sorry to
be the one to take all the seats.
I'm sorry to interrupt you, Lanre, but I would like to give, of course, Mr. Tokunbo Peters, the right, of response, to this, because he's also a member of the opposition party. I want to bring you on now, Mr. Peters. Lanre is saying that as opposition, you guys are not doing enough. As a matter of fact, you're doing nothing to put the ruling party on its toes. I would like you to react to that. That most of the time is just making noise and crying foul.
You see, it's quite convenient for Lanre to stay in the comfort of his room or his apartment in the UK and make allegations against the opposition parties in Ogun State. It's quite convenient for him. We are in the trenches. We have been fighting for democracy over here. We have been fighting for good governance. And quite unfortunately, when we succeed in achieving fiscal democracy and good governance, it is the likes of Lanre in the UK that will come back to the country and enjoy the fruits of our labor. I totally disagree with him that we have not been doing enough. Labour Party is populated by youths, selfless youths, unemployed youths, people who are traders, private businessmen, who are sacrificing the fruits of their labor to fight for this country. When I say fight, I'm not talking about physical battle. I'm talking about fighting the entrenched institution to ensure that we install good governance, and we are starting from the grassroots, from the local government, so that come 2027, it will be easy for us to enthrone a Labour Party government in the state and in the nation, because we already have a foothold in the local government. And this doesn't come easy. If you know the sacrifices we make every day, in the last 3 weeks, all members of the ESCO of the party and our supporters, we don't get home until late in the night, because we have been going from hamlet to hamlet, village to village, local government to local government, from house to house, campaigning to people and letting them know the need for them to vote out the APC government, which has failed the state in all ramifications. As I speak, it will interest you to know that there is no home in Ogun State where pipe bomb water runs. No house. I stand to be corrected. Even in the GRA, pipe bomb water does not run. We don't have public water system in Ogun State. When you build a house, you have to sink a borehole. You provide your own water, you provide your own drainage system. It is that bad. The duties of the local government has been eroded. I'm talking about the appointee, that is the chairman of the OGSIEC. I expect Lanre to know that it is the prerogative of the state's governor to appoint the chairman of OGSIEC. We can only complain, we can only shout, but nothing can be done. The state government will make its recommendation and it will be confirmed by the Ogun State House of Assembly. Ours is to put them on the toes, to ensure that they walk by the book, that they go by the Constitution. There are rules for conducting election. The votes ought to be counted at the polling units, and the results ought to be declared at the polling units. And we have agents, party faithful, people who are fiercely loyal to the party, people who cannot be compromised, no matter the inducement. And these people will collect all the result sheets, and these result sheets will be transmitted to us at our situation room with their smartphones.
All right.
To do our own collation.
Mr. Peter
does their own collation at the collation center.
Mr. Peter, because we are really managing time. We are really managing time. I would like to, of course, bring in Lanre to, if he has any response to some of the things you have said, to respond. And also we'll get into some issues you have raised as regards infrastructure, of which the governor of the state, in a recent statement, thinks otherwise. But we'll do that after this break. Do stay with us. Many thanks for staying with us. This is still Politics HQ on News Central Television, and of course we are discussing at the moment the Ogun State local government elections that will be holding, just over this weekend in Nigeria. I have Tokunbo Peters, the Publicity Secretary of Labour Party Ogun State. I also have Lanre Toluhi, a social and political commentator. Gentlemen, thank you for staying with me. Now, before we went on that break, Lanre, Mr. Peters said that you are just speaking from the comfort of your lush apartment in the UK, and that most of your comment is a total disconnect with the reality, particularly with those in the trenches. Is that true?
That is where Mr. Peters has missed it. Mr. Peters might not know, maybe you should check my name, Lanre Toluhi, and saw that as of 2015, I was already a member of the shadow cabinet which Nigeria was forming. I was in Nigeria forming that as a young person. So I've struggled for democracy. I've struggled from 2010, actively involved. A member of the PDP then, before I recently resigned my membership because of when politicians don't like hearing the truth. He just said it 3 weeks ago. In the last 3 weeks, that is when Labour and other opposition felt they should be awakened to start going to campaign for election. Election is not 3 weeks to go. Election is not 3 months to go. Election of 2027 is won as of this year. If you have lost it, you've lost it. If he does not know, he needs to know. That is what people need to know. Opposition. Now, it is the prerogative, like I said, of the governor to appoint to become the board, who become the Electoral Commission chairman. But it is the duty of Labour, PDP, ABGA, and every other opposition party to ensure that credible people were made chairman or chairperson or member of this Electoral Commission. We knew when APC was in opposition in Nigeria. We knew when APC formed in 2014, how they railroaded PDP and all that. You see, that is what they call opposition. APC was good in opposition, but they are not good in governance. We've all seen that. So it's about that. So, but opposition in Nigeria kept on giving excuses upon excuses on why they've done this or why they've not done that. PDP has failed. Labour is actually a total failure. We've seen it. PDP has failed. We saw what Labour is doing in Abia. I saw him saying they want to win a local government and want to win something at the central. Who wants to give power to a party like Labour? We need to understand that. We saw what their governor is doing in Abia. And we saw what they are even doing. Look, you see, we need to understand that politicians should now start understanding that it is not about politics of party. We need to understand that it is the politics of the people and putting the people first. Because if oppositions in Nigeria are waiting till 1 month to election before they can get to people, we can see the high cost of living. We can see that in Ogun. According to what he said, let's use Ogun as a case study because we are focusing in Ogun. Ogun, like he said,
all right.
There is no household with pipe-borne water that it is public water, except if it is borehole. Why are they waiting to use it as a campaign thing? They should have been hammering on these things. They have, look, this man, this president governor, has been there for more than 5 years.
Lanre,
why didn't they hammer on that? They're waiting for 3 days to election.
Lanre, let's move. Let me leave it at that because we pressed for time. Let me go to, of course, Mr. Peters to, if at all, respond to that. But where I'm going with you exactly is this, Mr. Peters. You said that in terms of infrastructure, the current government of the state, that's the state government, has not done so much. But the governor, in a recent statement, differs. Permit me to read some of what that statement actually encapsulates. He said, clearly unpopular and invisible, and therefore stand no chance in the upcoming elections. That's the governor referring to opposition parties in the state. He further went on to say that with the quality of candidates our party is presenting in the forthcoming local government election, APC remains the party to beat. We have consistently and diligently made significant impact in the lives of our people, and this is indeed our selling point. He goes on to say, without resorting to intimidation tactics against opposition parties, our administration has overshadowed them with our impactful projects, innovative ideas, and prudent governance, earning us a leading position amongst other states. I'd like you to react to that, Mr. Tokunbo Peters.
Therefore, I believe you have a correspondence in Abeokuta. I would like you to tell your correspondents to go around the houses in Abeokuta and sample their opinion. Let him do a vox pop, and you will be shocked with the responses of the good people of Ogun State. I've just told you that there is no home, no single home, even in the GRA, that has pipe-borne water. I stand to be corrected. You build your house, you have to sink a borehole, you have to construct your own drainage, you have to arrange for the evacuation of your own waste. We enjoy absolutely nothing. You need to see the inter roads. The roads are in terrible states. There is nothing to show for governance. I don't expect anything different from the governor because he wants to win votes. And they are not even campaigning. APC is not campaigning because they are going to sit down and write the result, and we are going to protest the result if it does not reflect the will of the people. When you hear somebody coming out 2 or 3 days to the election and saying that his party will sweep the entire poll, when the reality on the ground is different from what he's saying. We have been the only one campaigning. We started our campaign over three weeks ago. APC has not been campaigning because they don't have anything to campaign with. What is their selling point, for crying out loud? Some few years ago, they talked about Mitros rice, that Ogun State was producing rice, that they have pyramids of rice. Where are the rice? People are hungry. People are impoverished. People are angry. The local governments don't have anything to show for all the allocation that should be going to them. Our primary health care is in disarray. It's a disaster. They are worse than consultation centers. You can imagine somebody falling sick with ordinary malaria in a village. You will have to come all over to the state's capital for treatment, when we should have primary health care center in every local government, in every village. These are the programs Labour Party is bringing. We want to focus on agricultural revolution, primary health care, transparency and accountability in governance. Those are our cardinal objectives. And we have sold these programs to the people, and they're enthusiastic. They are willing to vote for us. It will interest you to know that each time we go out to vote, the opposition, they keep telling our supporters that don't mind them, that all politicians are thieves, that they're also coming to government to steal. But the Labour Party is different. We believe in the ethos of Peter Obi, which is transparency and accountability in governance.
All right, Mr. Peter, let me...
is a party with a difference.
Let me leave you for...
compare us to APC and PDP. They have been tested and they have failed the nation.
All right, so let me leave you for a moment and just bring in...
fresh air. They want something new. And that is why Labour Party is the in-thing. That is the bribe that is being chased by every election.
All right, let me bring in Lanre, Toluhi into this. We, of course, are about to wrap up this first half of the conversation. Lanre, your final comments on this ahead of the polls.
Thank you, Dakmo. You know, I can understand the job of my brother, Tokunbo Peters, and every opposition spokesperson in Nigeria. It is a tough nut. But like I said, opposition in Nigeria needs to be creative and innovative. They cannot continue with this old template that is not working. And the template is, like I said, we talked about shadow cabinet, which we had far back 2015. And every other parties in the world is doing them. They need to start doing stuff like that. They need to start moving in, have a shadow cabinet, have a policy group that can now dissect every policy and every appointment and give people the alternative. And that's the problem with opposition. Of every opposition party in Nigeria, PDP, APC, Accord, ABGA, think because people don't like APC, people are automatically going to like them. No. You need to sell yourself to the people. You need to show your ability to the people.
Okay.
You need to show what you can give. And stop keeping to 3 weeks to election campaign. You need to start your campaign 4 years to the campaign.
All right. Lanre, thank you so much. Thank you so much. But I understand that we, of course, need to, wrap this first half up and go on a break. But gentlemen, thank you for your time. Tokunbo Peters, the Publicity Secretary of the Labour Party, Ogun State, and also Lanre Toluhi, a social and political commentator, both men joining virtually. Once again, thank you for your time.